Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and assorted people of the internet. I am James Phoenix, and welcome back once again to your old friend Pez of the Mind. This is the next episode of our hit radio play Disney Heroes. Episode 6, for those of you keeping track at home. Be sure to check out the previous 5 episodes right here on Pez of the Mind. Joining me, as always, is my co-creator of this little endeavor, Chriz.
Hello.
And our cast members, the best one, Richter Hammer.
Hello.
And the other one, Marcus Shadow.
Oh.
Exactly. So, for those of you who may or may not have been keeping track with us, just a brief backstory. Basically, dark magic has been escaping the Disney Vault, which it turns out Walt Disney used to imprison demons, and so heroes have been recruited to use the powers of the Disney heroes to fight them off and save the world. That's all you need to know.
Indeed. Before we begin, I'd just like to point out, you guys probably noticed, my voice is kind of jacked up. I'm kind of sick, so yeah, just fair warning.
Well, this is not like the last time you were sick during a radio play when you disappeared for like 6 weeks. Too soon?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a voice back then.
Uh-huh. Anywho, why don't we go ahead and kick this off? You okay there, Marcus? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll probably be periodically muting to cough.
Get some water, man.
I have a drink.
Good. At any rate, mute yourself and let's continue.
I'm good.
Okay. We join our heroes in the remnants of their old base below the Cinderella Castle. The team is working on the continued transference of equipment, paperwork, and other needed items to the new headquarters on the abandoned Discovery Island to the east of the Magic Kingdom.
Man, when was the last time you guys used this place, man? The tech in here is kind of crap.
At least it's not really dusty anymore.
Well, you should remember the last time we used it. It wasn't that long ago. Remember, we were here. There was an attack by a demon Frollo. You know, just saying.
Oh yeah, that's right. I busted up the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Stuff changes fast in a week.
It does. It does.
And the plus side, at least we don't have to fix the floor because we won't be using this place.
That is true. That does save us some repair. Although, admittedly, there are certainly some rooms in here and lockups of equipment that haven't been touched in quite a long time, so I wouldn't be shocked to find a lot of old, dusty, outdated stuff.
I'll see if I can salvage anything from our hard drives that we can move over to the new base.
That would be helpful. Anything we picked up, particularly anything we picked up at close range during the aforementioned Frollo demon attack, might be useful. You know, our battles have mostly been trying to minimize damage to the park and shut the demons down. We haven't really had a chance to get up-close scans at these things to get details, so anything that the computers might have picked up during the situation could be of use.
Right. Security.
Yes, that's the other advantage. Security is able to want to deal with that again.
Was there more than what we had already disabled?
Depends on how you try to enter this place. Different entrances, different security measures. But obviously, most of that has been disactivated at this point, so that we can use all possible entrances to move things as quickly as possible and clear the place out. We've managed to disguise the entire project as a minor renovation to Cinderella Castle. We've been able to close the attraction down. Luckily, aside from the dining room restaurant and some of the frontal things, there's not a tremendous amount in here that people are often coming in here for. The castle's mostly a look at it from the outside attraction.
That is handy.
Indeed, and it shouldn't take altogether long, given that most of this is happening underground. It's only take a day or two to get this to a point where we can sufficiently sneak things out the back entrance and not have to worry about keeping the castle closed.
That's good. I wouldn't want to, raise suspicion by having people poke around while we're moving stuff.
Indeed.
Oh, I should probably mention while we're working on this. Speaking of moving things to the new base and upgrading tech, I was able to launch a drone in disguise over the park. Luckily, we have some decent magical cloaking technologies, and I had it buzzing around and scanning, trying to track the signatures more directly and hopefully follow some of them back to their source, because the demons. Admittedly, they can materialize and dematerialize at will, but that's not to say that they don't have to be somewhere. So I've managed to backtrack them to what we think is their lair, although with the high levels of dark magic, it's impossible to get a penetrative scan. However, we were able to get some audio readings, because, let's face it, these demons are Disney villains, and Disney villains can't help but monologue, as I'm sure you know.
It's their only weakness.
Effectively, I couldn't get an entirely clear picture, but we caught a little bit of Jafar, and I hate to be the one to make things worse, but it sounded like he was taking orders from someone else.
Who could boss around Jafar?
Well, aside from the Sultan, if Jafar's trying to be nice, I don't know.
Guys, the system's just picked up a spike in energy. Something's going on.
That's not good.
We'll have to investigate that in a minute. But in the meantime, more importantly, we have a running theory. We have a theory. It sounded like the person Jafar was giving orders to was, before Noah could finish, a portal rips open, and skeleton hands reach out, grabbing Noah. Ah! They pull him through the portal. Ah!
Noah! Jeff jumps up from his chair and runs forward, but to no avail.
Oh shit, we're gonna have to follow him, aren't we?
Oh, you're
Jacob says
right.
he runs at the portal.
I think we just found out where that spike of energy came from, dude.
I guess it's go time then. David shrugs his shoulders.
Jeff takes a running leap into the portal.
David looks around and sighs. He then takes off at a sprint and jumps into the portal. Ah!
Oh! Ow! Whoa. Where are we?
David lands down on the ground on one knee and tries to do the hero pose, but then the momentum carries him forward and he falls on his face. Ow! Somewhere hurting.
Dude, don't try to do that when you're out of the armor. Jeff picks himself up after having face planted himself.
Noted.
As the group stands, they look around. They see a place that can only be described as resembling the typical interpretations of hell. Stone, fire, dreary darkness, the usuals. An army of skeletons stands before them.
Oh, hell.
Oh, great.
On the plus side, it can't get worse.
Isn't that usually then when it gets worse?
Come on, we're literally in hell right now.
That's true. I don't see. Well, I don't want to see what else they could do to make this worse, so I'm just going to agree with you, Jacob.
Okay, so us versus skeletons. Guys, got any ideas?
Transform and fight.
Yeah, or if we have like a dog we could throw at him that would maybe chew him up for us.
I don't know about a dog, but how about a big lion?
I don't think they eat bones, dude. But sure, be my guest.
I hope this goes better than the first time I did this. Jeff reaches down and switches to the second position in his watch, and then slams the face down. Fangs protrude from his mouth. Yellow fur protrudes from his body as his body bulks up and armored plating begins to appear on portions of his body.
David holds his arm up and carefully switches the watch over and presses it down, activating his Goliath armor as it covers his body and wings spread out of the back. He cracks his knuckles. All right, time to do this.
Jacob turns his watch as his armor appears over his chest and a helmet over his head. He once again puts on his Buzz Lightyear armor. I figured I wanted some sort of protection. I really don't like the smell of the sulfur.
Jeff drops into a crouch as he looks around the skeletons. Any reason they're not attacking us?
Maybe we're just that intimidating.
Maybe they're good guys. They're just a load of lonely bones.
Jeff sniffs the air. Wait a sec. Well, they're not going to attack us. Let's track down Noah. I can kind of smell him in this form.
Good choice then. Let's if they're not going to mess with us, we'll just mosey on by and see what happens. Lead the
Jeff
way.
stands up and starts walking forward, sniffing the air, following Noah's scent.
Better you than me. This place stinks.
David continues to follow behind Jeff, constantly staring at the skeletons to see if they make a move.
As the group tiptoes past, in unison, the skeletons turn and look at them.
Oh, shit.
Hi?
The skeletons begin running at the team in a horde.
Well, it was worth a try.
Is it
David
possible?
lunges forward and starts hitting some of the skeletons.
Is it possible to just come in for my autograph?
I don't think so. Jeff takes a run at the oncoming skeletons and then leaps at them, taking a swipe with the claws on his hands.
Jumps backwards and begins just shooting them with lasers, trying to play the ranged game.
As they are hit, portions or the entirety of the skeletons begin dissipating into green mist.
Jeff lands on the ground on all fours and slides to a stop as he spins around. Green mist? That can't be good.
I was assured it can't get worse, David said as he picks up one of the skeletons and slams it on the ground. Another one jumps on his back, and he grabs it from behind and throws it into a few more skeletons.
To be fair, it's not worse yet, it's just different.
True enough. David swings around and hits another skeleton with his tail.
Continues just shooting his laser. P'toom, p'toom.
Jeff charges more of the oncoming skeletons, swiping with all his might with the claws on both his hands. Hey, David, can you get airborne? See if we're making any kind of headway here, or if they're just, respawning.
You got it. David crouches down and leaps up in the air and glides a little bit. He then lands back down. Well, on the plus side, they're not coming back. On the other side, there seems to be a lot more of them than it appears to be.
Wonderful.
David reaches down and grabs one of the skeleton by the legs and begins swinging him around into another group of skeletons. Whee! This is actually more fun than I thought it would be, he says as he leaps and tackles another one, destroying it into green mist.
Jeff starts running in the direction he smells Noah as he's taking swipe after swipe at skeletons. Okay, now I'm mad. He reaches out and grabs one skeleton from each side of him, grabbing them by the spines, and starts using them as, battering rams along the sides as he runs through.
Pops open his wings and flies up as high as he can go, and then starts to use the laser to cut through a rock, sending it crashing down on a little bit of skeletons below.
That is a great idea, David says, and starts grabbing skeletons and just throwing them as hard as he can against the wall.
Jeff slides to a stop as he reaches a water's edge. He sees a river in front of him. Okay, guys, I've kind of run out of land.
Well, maybe we can use that to our advantage and just throw skeletons into it.
Jeff
That
turns
doesn't
around
sound
and
like
sees the... Perhaps. Jeff turns around and sees the oncoming horde of skeletons. Not if they throw me in first. I'm kind of stuck. I think I should have thought this through better. Hey, can I get an extraction here sometime soon?
Turns to the other guy with wings and plays rock, paper, scissors to determine who will pick him up.
David throws out scissors to Jacob's rock. Okay. We got you, buddy. David then runs over and picks up Jeff and jumps up to glide.
Whew. Well, that's where no ascent ended, so once we figure out how to get through these skeletons, we're going to have to figure out some way to traverse that river.
I hope he didn't go swimming in it.
Me too, considering if this is supposed to be hell, that's probably the river Styx.
I hope he's not dead. He signs my paycheck.
Jeff, let's go with David and lands next to Jacob. Well, now what do we do?
I don't know. I don't think I can fly the whole way down that river, especially with no end in sight. Maybe there's something we can use to float on it?
If this is hell or the underworld, don't they normally have boats down here? There's normally those boats with the big paddles.
You know, I gotta say, for a bunch of goody-goodies, you know an awful lot about the underworld, don't you? So a voice comes out of nowhere. The skeletons dissipate, turning into the green mist and falling back into the river. The flames come into the form of Hades. All right, that wasn't bad. I gotta tell you, I mean, not that the skeletons are that much of a threat, but hey, you did what you could do. That wasn't terrible. By the way, Hades, Lord of the Dead, how you doing? Listen, I gotta tell you, the skeletons were just practice. I had to come up with something quickly. I didn't expect you guys to just actually come through the portal into the underworld. I mean, who does that, really? I mean, it's a world of the dead. You realize you're never leaving here, right? Come on. You had to know that. You gave me that dense. At any rate, the skeletons will come back and get you. You'll fall in the river Styx. You're trapped here forever. Regardless, you're not getting out. So I hope you enjoy the place, because you're here for eternity. Have fun. I got places to go, people to kill, things to do. See you later. The flames fire back up and Hades disappears.
Jeff's shoulder slump. It had to be Hades.
Well, makes sense given the surroundings.
True, but I was hoping. Well, at least we're not going to be molested by skeletons anymore.
True, but
Turns to the Goliath and goes, "Okay, now it's worse."
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily believe that it's impossible to escape from here, but given our current situation, it does seem unlikely. David scans the surroundings.
Do you think maybe Hades was the one who was the boss? I mean, he is supposed to be a god.
Yeah, I could see that. He should outrank Jafar in terms of power.
Absolutely. Jeff's eyes then go wide. Did anyone have the foresight to call in the kids before we jump down there?
No.
I was afraid of that. You do realize the park and, by extension, the world is now defenseless because we're stuck down here and the kids don't know what's going on.
True. Although David scratches the back of his head, I'm pretty sure that would have been Noah's job. I'm sure someone back there saw us jump in a portal and has probably called the backup. I'm gonna hope so, at least.
I wasn't really thinking. I just figured we come through the portal because so far every time we defeat one of these things, they disappear. So logically, if we kill Hades, this whole place should disappear and we should be back in Kansas.
Jeff turns and looks at Jacob. Kill Hades. Right.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if it's actually Hades and not just the evil manifestation of him. So, in theory, we should be able to kill him. I mean, we're not the god of war, but we can probably do it.
Exactly. He's not really a god. He's just an evil ancient demon masquerading as a god. This should be fun.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Well, I guess we better find this boat, assuming there is one. Jeff
I don't
powers
know if
down
we
and
have the,
starts looking around.
I don't think we have the silver to pay him though. If the ferryman comes, so yeah, hopefully we'll find our own boat.
We could always kill the ferryman and take his boat. Because my guess is this isn't actually hell, so anything down here must be created by Hades. I'm okay killing him.
Jeff rubs his chin and turns to look at David. Somehow, I don't think the ferryman is going to say no to Goliath.
I'm kind of hoping so.
That's on the plus side. Hell, constantly nighttime, you won't be turning to stone.
David holds his chin and looks up for a second. You know, I hadn't thought of that. I'm hoping that this power doesn't have that limitation. That would be rather weird.
Why?
You guys-
What would be wrong about a cat, a statue, and a toy going to fight a god? What could go wrong?
True.
You guys do realize if David started to turn to stone, he could just, turn the power off.
Yeah, but
Well,
I wouldn't
what
be
if
much
he's
good in the
written
fight,
first?
though.
True.
Yeah, and what if his hand froze first?
Good point.
I'm not really curious. Yeah, we can test that when we go back.
I'd just as soon rather not. Thank you, though.
Jeff looks down the river. Man, that is one long river. Any luck with the boat?
If only one of us had had the steamboat as our form.
I'm starting to think maybe I should have used Triton, but then I don't know if Triton can interact with the river Styx.
I'm not sure you'd want to try that either.
Looks around until he sees something on the river that looks like it could be a boat. So he flies towards it and just blasts the guy on the boat with a laser. Send him off the boat. Got one.
Jeff spins around and face palms. You couldn't have asked him first?
Like I said, this whole thing's probably created by an ancient demon. My guess is it probably wouldn't have said, "Oh, sure."
Jeff walks over and climbs onto the boat, transforming back into Simba mode. All right. Just remember, though, cats hate water.
David trots over and gets onto the boat. Yeah, well, to be fair, it's a solution, so I'm just gonna go with it.
David, you drive.
All right. David picks up the oar and begins rowing to move them down the river.
Lies back in the boat with his hands behind his head. You know, besides the death and obvious, probably impending doom, this is actually quite relaxing.
Well, since we have a long-ass river, Jeff sits down and stretches. Ugh. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, you just kind of jumped in and started kicking ass. We don't know much about you.
That's not entirely true. I jumped in and got shot horribly.
Touche.
Then was in a coma, then woke up, then kicked ass. But
You make a valid point.
I played American football a while back. Then I kind of got suspended kicked off, I should say, for steroid abuse. And when I moved to England to get away from it all. Joined what you would call a soccer team. and then got kicked off that for steroid abuse.
Oh, well, at least you're consistent, David says while continuing to row.
I am. Hopefully this place doesn't drug test. And I'm joking.
To be fair, I'm not sure that would be a detriment. I mean, if you're fighting evil, extra strength might help.
Yeah, it was just the pressure. I felt like I had to be the best. So, I may have made some decisions I regret, but I'm here now, so it's worked out because I get to at least help people. How about you? Where did you guys come from?
Oh, well, I mean, how I got into this program, David says while continuing to row, is, see, my brother, I don't remember if you met him. He was, strangely on our backup team. David shakes his head while looking up. But, when we grew up, we were pretty close in age to each other, and we hung out a lot, until around high school, and we'd always watch, like the Disney Afternoon and all that stuff, and it was always really cool. And he was always like super into it, and I found out he is basically the reason I'm here. He applied me for, he applied both of us to be in the Musketeers, but But yeah, so I don't know why I was picked over him to be in the primary team. That was odd, but it's actually, besides being life threatening and kind of terrifying, it's been kind of fun. It's a lot more action packed than my previous job. I was just a research assistant, but not much else to tell beyond that. This is certainly a different kind of life, David says as he looks around and continues rowing.
Well, at least you have your family nearby.
Yeah, that's I have not seen my brother as much as maybe I should have, but yeah, it does live pretty close. I've been pretty busy with work, but I'm thinking maybe I should visit him more often.
Probably a good idea. I mean, brotherhood bonds are pretty strong.
That's true. How about you, Jeff? How did you get mixed up in this craziness?
Well, not much to my story, I'm afraid. I grew up with Disney. Fell in love with a lot of their movies, their music mostly. Oh, the music. And when the opportunity came up to apply for Musketeers, well, I couldn't say no, so I applied. And as you all know, what happened with that? Nothing. And so I grew up, and I'm a computer programmer actually. Luckily, I'm between projects, so no one will really miss me.
Well, if he likes the music, turn to the guy rowing the boat. How about a round of row, row, row your boat?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm concentrating on rowing. No time for singing, David says and looks away very quickly while rowing. Just a little faster this time.
I bet he has a beautiful singing voice.
Jeff grins, and if you've ever seen a cat grin, very creepy. So, what do you guys reckon we'll find at the end of this river, or at least at our destination?
Probably a big scary gate.
Well, since we're in hell, maybe we'll find my father.
Ooh.
Oh.
Thank you. No. My guess is, hopefully, we find Noah. Of course, inevitably we'll find Hades as well, but hopefully we find Noah first.
I hope so. We're
He
dealing with
only
both
knows what to do.
if we're dealing with both Hades and Jafar, and they have Noah, Jeff shudders.
Well, then, if we do, I would say our first priority is to try and rescue Noah, because the longer we fight without him, the more the odds are going to be against us. So I would think our first priority is get him, and then we can deal with them if we have to.
As the group converses, the boat reaches the end of the river.
Okay, we're here, fellas. Wherever here is.
As predicted, at the end of the river is a big scary gate.
Oh,
Jeff hops
great.
off the boat and looks up at the gate. Okay. Suddenly his ears perk up. Wait a second. He hears a low growl. Okay, that can't be good. Guys, I'm hearing something.
Is Jacob really hungry?
No.
Uh-oh.
As they look to the side of the gate, they see 3 pairs of red eyes in the shadows.
Oh no.
I think there's 3 guys over there that are going to be very unhappy to see us.
David, I don't think that's 3 guys.
But if there's 3 pairs, and now oh, David suddenly dawns with realization. Oh, this did somehow get even worse.
Jeff turns back to the 2. Now it's gotten worse.
The beast takes a couple steps forward out of the shadows, revealing the 3-headed dog, guardian of hell known as Cerberus.
Am I the only one that thinks that's kind of cute?
You're more than welcome to go pet it. Jeff runs around behind David and hides behind his massive wings.
Oh man, if only we still had the skeletons, maybe he would chase the bones.
If only we had something. The dogs like to chase, he says, stepping aside, revealing the cat.
I'm not sure that's the best plan, but it's all we got. You want to go distract it, Jeff? David shrugs.
Jeff looks around. With what room? We're kind of at the river's edge here.
I don't know, maybe you can get him to run at you and then you can duck and he'll jump in. Happens in cartoons all the time. I assume that logic would apply here.
Okay, I guess I could try that. Jeff looks up at Cerberus. Nice doggy?
The dog roars loudly, and the 3 heads begin snapping at the team.
Whoa. Why do I get the feeling he's not going to move?
David takes a deep breath. Then we're gonna have to make him.
Everyone attack a different head.
Wait, this thing's a dog. It's got feet, right?
Yep.
Jacob, make puppy dance.
Okay, he says as he opens up his laser once again and begins firing at the dog's feet. Pew, 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 pew.
The dog takes a step back, attempting to avoid the laser blasts, getting angrier.
That's it. Get pissed off enough. And as Cerberus is preoccupied with the laser blast, Jeff runs in under the heads, gets up close to the body, and starts swiping at the dog's, paws with his claws.
Cerberus is scratched it several times, purely making it angrier, roaring and swiping one of its large paws back at Jeff.
Jeff gets hit and goes flying back, landing at Jacob's feet. Oh, that hurt.
All right, I guess it's my turn. David unhooks the wings that were around him like a cape and jumps up and glides towards Cerberus, trying to circle around behind him so as to avoid the heads. He quickly swoops down and tries to use his claws to scratch at the back of the beast.
One of Cerberus's heads turns around, attempting to swat the gargoyle off with its teeth, but its attention is now divided. Cerberus continues roaring. One of the heads trying to turn around, attempting to knock David off, while the other two continue growling and staring down the remaining members of the team, as if Cerberus is having trouble deciding which threat to deal with first.
Jumps up into the air and begins to do what he did to the skeletons. He cuts a large chunk of rock from the ceiling with a laser, sending it crashing down towards the heads.
The rock lands on one of Cerberus's heads, knocking it silly. It slumps over, the head temporarily out of commission.
Using the momentary distraction, David swoops down at the head that was previously biting at him and tries to grab it from behind.
As David's arms wraps around Cerberus's head, it starts roaring loudly, swinging around, trying to free itself from the grip. As the third remaining head attempts to look in that direction, but has trouble due to the close proximity of the head.
Jeff stands up and then runs at the downed head, pouncing on it and tearing into its neck with his fangs, and swiping at the same time.
The downed head cries out in pain, as do the other two simultaneously. As the one head continues to swing David around, the beast totters toward the side of the damaged head, trying to balance itself.
Jeff hangs on for dear life. Oh!
As the head is swinging David back and forth, he lets go with one hand and reaches up and tries to claw it in the eye.
Gets behind it the best he can and pushes, trying to push it towards the water to drown the downed heads.
As Cerberus is struck in the eye by David's blow, it cries out in pain again. The sun, as it leans forward, attempting to pull its eye away from the damage, the pushing momentum of Jacob from behind causes it to stumble forward, tripping toward the river. Cerberus falls to the ground near the river.
Jeff swings around to the back of its neck and leaps up into the air as Cerberus hits the ground. Jeff then does a somersault in the air, bares his claws, and does a diving strike right at the injured part of the neck, trying to sever the neck.
David lets go of the head and jumps back and glides to the back of the beast. He then lands and begins to push it to try and get it into the river.
As Jeff lands and hits the damaged neck once again, Cerberus now cries out in pain a third time. This time favoring the damaged head as the other two howl out, unable to defend themselves due to the pain of the third head. As the pushing continues, the beast begins to stumble backwards against the bank of the river.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
To me, to you.
As Cerberus's back paws suddenly lose traction, its back paws hit the river. As it does, the depth of the river causes Cerberus to lose its balance. It falls backwards, howling in pain one final time as it falls into the river.
Jeff stands up, a wild look in his eyes, dark rivulets of blood dribbling down his mouth and neck.
As Cerberus falls in the water, David struggles to keep his balance, but quickly steadies himself. He then leaps back so he's not so close to the water. Wow, I think we did it!
Jeff spits out dark blood and then looks skyward and lets out a mighty roar of victory for the King of Beasts.
Looks over at the water. Yep. Pretty sure that's dead.
David turns to Jeff. You're not going to develop a taste for that, are you?
Jeff wipes the blood with the back of his hand and turns to face them. Remind me never to do that again. Man, that stuff was nasty.
I believe it.
Let's just hope there's no aftertaste. Now, any idea how we open this thing? He points at the gate.
Maybe we can push on that too.
Fair enough. Jeff walks up to the gate and tries to push on it.
Seeing it not moving much, David then gets an idea. He braces himself in size. He breaks into a sprint and jumps and slams himself into the gate to try and push it forward. Oh!
As David hits the gate, it creaks open enough that the three can slip through.
Wow, that worked. Ow, my shoulder.
Jeff reaches down and pulls David to his feet. Good work, buddy.
That was a good job. I was just going to suggest to see if he had a key lying around.
Oh, yeah, that probably would have been a better idea, David says as he rubs his shoulder.
Looks around, but to be fair, I don't really see a giant welcome mat to hell. So your plan was probably the best idea.
Jeff steps forward first and slides through the gate as his cat-like eyes begin to adjust to the low lighting inside. Well, this isn't welcoming.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I'd want it to be. This is hell after all, or at least the demon's power representation of it, he says as he looks around.
Jeff glances behind him and sees David's eyes light up as he walks through. Oh, cool. You get that too.
Yeah, seems to be. This is pretty handy, though.
I should have chose the Buzz Lightyear with the light up glow in the dark belt.
You don't have any night vision in that helmet?
Nope. It just protects me from fumes. Like I said, the sulfur in this place is ridiculous.
You're telling me. Jeff waves his hand in front of his nose. just starts walking forward. Okay.
As the group steps forward, they can hear voices somewhere off in the distance. So you're telling me that was your big plan? A three-headed dog? They trashed it like it was nothing. Jeffy, baby, calm down. It's all part of the plan, I promise. Look, they're going to be here any second. Let me handle this. We're going to be fine. As the three continue into the room, torches light along the side, all in blue flame. Blue flames appear on a large throne pedestal in the center of the room, revealing Hades. Well, you made it past the Cerberus. I'm impressed. I really didn't think you'd get that far, but seeing as you did, welcome to the underworld inner sanctum. You realize that part about you not leaving still holds, right? You got that? Okay, good. Now, you might think that since you're here, you have some kind of chance, oh, you're going to fight me, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Well, no, that's not how this is going to work. See, I let you get down here. I mean, this is the underworld. You really think you get that far without my permission? Do you really think that? I mean, the skeletons, they were nothing. And the Cerberus, I'll be honest, that guy gets killed all the time. I just bring him back again. He looks a lot more threatening than he is. Really a puppy dog. Neither here nor there. Regardless, the beauty of you having been here and taking that long to get through everything is that this is the underworld, and you see, in the underworld, everyone who enters, whether living or dead, leaves a piece of themselves. The dead more so than the living, obviously, because, well, yeah, they're dead. But even the living leave something of themselves behind. Something like this. As Hades waves his hand, energy seems to collect from the air into a small sphere. Now you see this? This is a representation of the energy that you do-gooders have been using to fight off my minions out there. And a lot of other things from what I've heard. Now, what do you suppose I could do with this? You see, I imagine it could be very interesting if I were to take this and, well, a little darkness does the body good, am I right? Hades waves his hand, and a small amount of darkness forms around the orb, almost spiderweb-like around it. And now we get to have a little fun, because what do you get when you mix just the right amount of darkness with the powers of light? You get yourselves a dark mouseketeer. Dun dun dun.
Can he do that?
I don't know how this consistently gets more and more worse.
As he speaks, he notices that because they've used up some of their energy, they turn back to normal.
Huh. Jeff looks down and then looks back up. You're kidding.
Hopefully that recharges.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that part too, but again, still holds true. The part, you not leaving, yeah, still happening, and now you understand why. Enjoy the underworld, kiddies, because it's your home for eternity. Hades grins evilly as his flames flare. To be continued.
And here at the Disney parks, I thought the only thing that was hell was the prices.
I see what you did there.
So what from this episode is going to happen then in real life? Because I mean, at one time I had a Frank West joke, and then he shows up in the next Dead Rising, and then we had a gator last week. Just saying. So I don't know. I'm kind of worried.
What'll happen is next week, if I'm out shopping, I'm gonna actually find a glow-in-the-dark belt and buy it.
Yes.
He is.
So I assume then next week we'll be able to use whatever form we want for the Hades fight.
If and when you find a way to get your powers back, yes.
Yeah, because we're meant to change powers every episode, so I was like,
Yep.
with that, we might as well change out of it.
For those watching at home, this is the first part of an epic 3-parter. Stay tuned for the other 2.
Fair enough.
Yay.
So, thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next week with another one. I'll try to make Hades slightly less Jewish.
I'm all verklempt.
Gotta mention merchandising. Merchandising. That would totally be 80s too, man.
No, Hades hates merchandising. Didn't you see the movie?
No.
Let me get straight. I have 24 hours to get rid of this bozo, and you are wearing his merchandise!
Fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't get to do the raging angry Hades yet. I figured I'd save that for later.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Raging Hades. Nice. Nice.
That's what she said.
I had one of those. There were no survivors.
I had one of those too, and then yep, the head was totally burning.
I had such raging Hades, it gave me a huge Star Trek.
Nice.
And on that note, good night, everybody.
Wait
Well,
until,
see,
wait until the third part where we see Hades and Chernobog as a tag team. Never before, never again.
Does that mean we have to win the glowing belt?
Yes.
But the glowing belt was in the struggle tournament in Twilight Town, not in the Underworld Coliseum. Well, whatever. Anyway, we'll see you next time, folks. Peace.